have a few words of Jory's life we'd like to talk about. And while it's May 4th, I don't know if you know, but May the 4th be with you. It's actually a Star Wars Day. Yes. So happy to commemorate. Yeah. Oh, the music just got jacked up. I don't know if everybody wants to hear our speech. What are you going to say? I don't know. What are we going to say?
There you go.
Why don't you put your badge on?
It'll puncture my jersey.
Oh, that's going to be less pain than this, sister. Okay. So first we have a few, just a bit of a game show here to see how many people you really know Jory very well. So, does anybody know what Jory's first job was?
Movie theater.
No? Close. So we lived in Verona. She actually wasn't legally able to work. However, someone lied about it. She got her job.
She was very mature for her age.
Yes. Any guesses? It's similar to movie theater. What do you do after the movie comes out?
Ice cream. Popcorn. That would have been good.
That's a later question. Hold on.
Katie, her first job was as a newspaper carrier.
Oh yeah, she was 8
That's
years
true.
old.
8 years old. That's right.
Wow, true child labor.
And she had her first checking account at 8 years old.
Yes.
She got a job at 8, she got a checking account.
You're so financially savvy.
Not only that, but she preserved that job for her next sister, Tammy, who
Yep.
preserved it for Katie.
But we moved too early.
I'm like, Katie, I've never heard about that.
I was a newspaper person.
I think Tammy actually paid me a fourth of what she actually got paid to do her job for her. Which I was excited
And then
about.
who delivered them?
So anyway, Jory's first real paying job, which wasn't one of these, side illegal jobs, was actually working at West Coast Video. And so she actually, her first order of business was to organize the adult section.
I was 14.
Yeah.
True expert. You just read the title.
VHS tapes?
With the cover?
Beta.
Beta. The cover? Because the other two employees were boys, and he said, "You can't go in there. You can do it."
You're like, what's this?
And then he cried when he had to fire me. He's like, "I made you do the porno."
Oh no, you don't.
That's what Mom said. You can't work there anymore. I'm going to take your place.
So moving on from jobs, when we all know Jory's very good at math. So do we know what grade Jory was when she took the math level SATs?
First.
And graduated. And she actually scored high enough she could have gone to college. What grade was she? First grade, that's a bit low. It's impressive.
9th grade.
I would grade.
8th grade.
9th grade. No. 9th grade. Fiona Grace, 9th grade.
No, it wasn't. It was 7th. It's
Oh.
an 8th grade.
You told me 7. You told me 9th.
No, it was 7th. It was 7th. She scored higher.
Regardless, Jory is one smart
She
cookie.
scored higher in 7th grade than I did in 11th.
Was this rehearsed?
Wow.
Obviously.
Obviously not.
So in 9th grade, Jory wrote a term paper about something that actually caused the school to say, before any dissertations are done before the entire school, they need to be reviewed. Does anybody have any idea what her dissertation was about?
Working at the video store.
Yeah, that's
The adult video store.
You should preface it by saying I was then in all-girls Catholic school.
Yeah, she was in an all-girls Catholic school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gay marriage. Gay marriage.
Who may have been homosexual?
The priest.
Jesus was the whole Jesus. That's right.
Wow, blasphemy.
But her title was Jesus Gay.
My God.
Was Jesus gay? Wow. Just cut to the chase.
Nice. And the nuns in the front row were dying. They dropped to their knees and crossed
And
themselves.
Jory's thesis actually was that no, he actually was not
Hey,
gay.
Mommy, Brian didn't hear that.
Okay, moving on.
Oh my God. Look at that donut. Let's just take a pause for that.
So, which kind of leads us on to, the fact that Jory always was inquisitive about, everything that she essentially encountered. She never actually brought home any, she never brought any homework home. She always managed to do her homework while she was at school. She never seemed to, school obviously wasn't very challenging. So both, Marjorie and Jerry decided, we need to put her into school that really challenges her, which enters Claire into a situation where...
I was the challenge?
When you were not the challenge, but Jory met Claire at Madeira, where Jory spent her 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And I think Claire may have a story or two for us, potentially from high school.
Thank you. I do.
You may have one.
I may have some stories. Where do I start? Oh, I can tell the Jaguar story.
Oh, sure.
Okay. So it's a combination of comedy of errors here. So Mrs. Barnett purchased a new car, and she very much cared for this car. And I told my parents I was studying at the library, and Joy said, no, we need to go to the mall. And she said, well, how are we going to get there? She goes, oh, I have my mother's car. So she decided to come pick me up at school where I was studying at the library in the new car, and it started to rain. And if you know Mrs. Barnett, she was very happy about this new car and did not want any rain on it, and she was very careful about it and very particular about it.
Take our shoes off before we get into it.
She put like special little rugs in there, so no special you're getting the attorney in there.
You still have those rugs. Like that car.
So I was just a little concerned because I wasn't too sure if we were going to get away with this. But anyhow, so it starts raining. We're like, oh dear. So she's like, no. George's like, no, I have a plan. When we get back to the house, we're going to pull it into the garage, and then we're going to towel dry it. Like we literally are going to get bath towels and dry all of it. But the problem was, is I told my mom I was studying at the library while I was at the mall, and apparently I'd forgotten my lunch. So my mother came to the library and brought my lunch to the library and proceeded to wait for me to show back up so I could eat my lunch. Well, 2 hours later, Joy and I arrive because she drops me off. So I get in trouble because I was at the library, but I wasn't. But then Joy has to go return this car back to the house and kind of be okay with it. And I'm going to let Mrs. Barnett explain how the conversation went because I was not there when Joy returned the car.
Well, I was extremely angry. Joy took my car without permission. And Grandpa was staying with us. And so Joy looks at me and she goes, would you have had Grandpa drive your car? And I go, no. And she goes, well, I drove it.
So
do you remember this?
I was upset because typical
Joy gets away with it.
Joy always got away with it. See, I always got caught in everything in high school. And Joy was always smart and always knew the right thing to say. I mean, she was always 10 steps ahead of everyone. She had the purpose, the reason, the way to get out of everything. And I'm just there like,
Well, how about when she was learning to drive the Broadax with Grandpa, and she backed into, she was only 14 or 15, she backed into a cone, damaged the car, and blamed it on Grandpa.
I think it sounds like she's a pretty smart person.
Accidents and all of them in her life, and they've all been in reverse. So,
Yeah.
we'll just keep George moving forward. Moving forward. Okay. So,
really quickly,
yes.
I think we can all attest to knowing Joy. And as Aristotle said, you have 3 types of friends. You have friends of pleasure, someone you want to drink with. You have friends of convenience, someone who will always be there. A friend of excellence, who always makes you a better person. We can all agree that it's very rare we find those people in life. And Jory is that to me, all 3. That's all I can say.
Well, I can say from my side that Jory's, she's always summarized everything on a pinhead, right? I mean, she's very direct, very blunt, which is wonderful in a lot of ways. I mean, I can remember bringing home one of the first boyfriends I ever brought home, and within a few hours, Joy said, "Why are you wasting your time?" And I, of course, was very upset, but of course, proved to be right. And I was happy to say, obviously, that's not the man I'm married to today.
See the felon?
No, not the felon. Never for bringing that up. Yeah. Another boyfriend where Joy said, "If he's an ex-felon, so he can never be a Little League coach." And I said, "Okay, well then I guess I won't date him anymore." I'm a Little League coach. Anyway, back to Jory. She makes great decisions, which we obviously can see by the other man in the big red chair here. And we're very excited to have Dan in our life, and we're very happy that Jory brought him into our lives. And she's the rock of our family, and we love everything that she's done for us in our lives, and brought our family together and kept our family together. And we're just very appreciative, so we love her. And she also worked for Prudential, which is the rock. So,